Hi there, it's Nathalie with you today with a new process video for Pinkflash Studio. And we're back! Now that Pinkflash Studio is once again producing scrapbook collections, we're back to show you some ideas and inspiration on how to use the products to document your memories, whichever format, and also in other ideas. Now, we're starting this new term, if you want to call it, with this beautiful collection. This is Lovely Lane by Paige Evans, and it's a beautiful collection of vibrant colors. There's a lot of geometric, there's a lot of florals, there's everything for everyone. There's a touch of femininity to it, but there's a lot that you can do with it. Don't because I'm saying that means that you can only do girl work. No, you can do also any sort of documenting. So today I want to show you an idea with this paper. This is called Beautiful Journey, and I love, if you guys have been to any of my videos before, you will know that I love a geometric design because it's just so easy to work with them. So my idea today is to transform this paper into a background for my layout. So I love the fact that it actually looks like frames, so I'm going to take advantage of that for my layout. I am going to use a craft knife and my magnetic mat to help me take out all the green, I'm going to call them frames or squares from the page. So you're going to see that I'm cutting around the green squares, making sure that the outside of the frame or the square is flush against the design of it. But when I'm going to cut the inside of it, I'm going to make sure that I leave the white offset that separates the green frame or the green square from the next one, in this case the blue one. I'm just going to take my time. I wanted to actually transform the background, in this case the pattern paper, into something else. Now once I had the large frame, I went ahead and I was actually playing with the idea of using the 6x8, but then I realized that the size of the frames was a little bit thinner, so it looked very off when I just made like a calculation mentally. So I decided to go ahead and actually trim off the 4 leftover green, I'm gonna call them frames because that's really what I'm creating out of the pattern paper. So I'm taking my time. I'm gonna cut, there's 2 small ones in like top and bottom left corner, top right corner, bottom left corner, and the medium ones are on the top left corner, bottom right corner. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the large one. I'm going to cut flush around the outside of the green square or the frame in this case, and I'm gonna make sure that I leave the white offset that separates the green frame from the next square. In the inside, I want to create the idea of a frame. So once I have that ready, this is the part that took me the longest. I'm just going to show you a little bit. I'm actually going to use foam adhesive behind the squares or the frames in this case to attach them to my page. The way that I'm going to go about it is I am going to keep the large I'm gonna call it, it's not really, well, it's a square, but it's like kind of tilted so it becomes a rhomboid. I'm gonna keep it on the center of my page. So what I'm doing is using a pencil to kind of mark the 6 inches from top to bottom and the 6 inches from left to right, so that I can have like something that is symmetric on my page. Once I have that, I'm gonna go ahead and literally set it on my page, making sure that it it spans within the center of the page in that kind of angly thing, so it goes from a square to a rhomboid. Once I have that, I'm gonna get the medium frame, and you're gonna see that it has this little because it's right at the corner, so I'm gonna trim those edges because I want it just like a clean cut. And I'm going to use the line that is the inside line of the green frame to actually set up the next that piece of a frame of the medium one, follow next to the top right and to the bottom left of the rhomboid, and then I'm going to squeeze the little squares or the little frames right below them. In this case, on the top one is right below the right edge, and on the left one is on the top left. So it kind of creates a zigzag on my background. You're gonna see right now, it kind of creates like this zigzag on my background, which gives me great positioning for everything. Now all I have left to do is just trim the excess, because there's gonna be some excess of the paper on the sides, and my background is ready. You can move this around in different positions. This is gonna give you a different look all the time. But for this project, I wanted something that went from left to right. Now I have these two pictures. Those are my kids and my niece and nephew, and I want, even though I printed my pictures with a white frame, because I'm going to put them on top of the green frame and the offside, I wanted to give them something that was going to make them pop out. So I went into the 6x8 and I pulled the same paper in a smaller version, but I'm going to use the B side, because I don't know if you can see the picture. That's my daughter is the one in the blue dress, and it matches some of the tones in this collection. But behind them, this was at my niece's 17th birthday, so the balloon at the back is pink. So I chose to pull out the pink out of it using this paper for just to create frames around the pictures. Once I have them, you're gonna see simple, nothing much. I am going to place them on the top left corner or edge of the largest square. So I'm just gonna kind of tuck them in one inside of the other one. Once I have them in place, I'm going to add some foam adhesive behind it, just to make sure that it pops a little bit from the background. I already have like that kind of motion on the background, so I know where things have to sit. Once I have my pictures in place, I know that I have to follow the movement that I created with this frames. So I know that I need something a little bit heavier on the top right corner of my photo, just because I have a lot of empty space in that area. So I'm bringing some of the floral ephemera. You're gonna see that I just cut around some of the edges of the flowers, so that it helps me tuck in behind the picture. And then I'm gonna add some foam adhesive behind it before attaching it to the frame. Now that means that because I have that large piece of ephemera on the top right corner of the photos, I need to add something smaller to the bottom left corner of the photos. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna go in the same ephemera, but I'm gonna choose flowers that are smaller in size, just to balance it out. Now I need to create a triangle that brings the focus to the centerpiece. I'm going to create another cluster of ephemera. This time I'm going to do it on the bottom, I'm going to say kind of right edge of the large frame, just like you see right now, kind of opposite to the pictures. So I'm going to use some of the ribbons. I'm just going to use the ones that have the same floral design, and I'm attaching them right at around the bottom edge of the green frame. Once I have that, you can see that I'm going to add extra leaves just to kind of bulk it up a little bit. Then I'm going to bring one of the chipboard pieces, just because it has that kind of daisy pink look that I have going on the large cluster. And then I'm going to add even a little touch of that kind of vibrant pink, kind of fuchsia, just to bring all of it together. Now here's the part that you don't see, is that for some reason I skipped it. I just added a few more decorations. I added the little chipboard piece on the top corner of the left photo, and that layer arrow at the bottom right corner of the photo. I think I messed up, but on the two diagonal opposed corners of the pictures. And then I'm going to use the small puffy alphabet. I'm going to use the gold ones because I want the letters to pop out, to add a title to the right of the ribbon that I added. And then I'm bringing one of the puffy stickers, just to kind of give it an area where to sit, so it kind of anchors to the page. Once I have that, I added one of the little chipboard stars, and then to bring it all together and make the page like kind of create a flow on the page, I'm actually going to use the enamel dots from the collection. And it's actually really fun because there's a mixture of different sizes, different colors, and actually there's hearts in it. So I'm going to take advantage of the colors in this to bring all the page together. I am going to make sure that I add that soft blue and that pop of that fuchsia pink inside the little squares at the left and right of the picture. I'm also going to add like little color to the top and the bottom of the page, so kind of create a zigzag, so it kind of guides your eye through the page. Now when I finished this, I realized that kind of the layout was really kind of bottom heavy. So to make it a little bit lighter, I'm gonna cut a piece of paper, and this name of this paper is Happiness is Homemade. I really love the scallop like border at the bottom of on this page. So I trim around 3/4 of an inch of it, and I'm gonna glue it to the bottom edge of my page behind it, so that when you look at it, you're gonna see the bottom scallop edge. You're gonna see I'm doing it right now. And then I'm going to take it to my trimmer and cut the excess out of the 12 inches. That's just going to pull the design towards the top of the page and not make it some bottom heavy. It kind of balances out. Plus it gives me space to add my lines with journal, which I'm going to add between the bottom floral cluster and that scallop edge at the bottom. So I'm just drawing the lines. I'll do that after the camera is done. The only thing that you don't see me doing here is that I added a few more enamel dots to connect that arrow that is on the bottom right corner of the pictures to the title. But I love how this turned out. This was fun. It's always fun to create. It's always fun to guys to give you some inspiration. I hope you enjoyed this. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Leave me a comment here, or you can find me on social media. Thank you so much for joining me. We are so excited to be back and give you lots of inspiration. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more beautiful content, and I hope to see you very soon. Take care, guys.